Today, I'd like to share with you the noise removal filter on Audacity. This filter is really useful for getting rid of any sort of background noise, humming, or any sort of mic level noise that you might hear when you're recording your podcast. So it's a really simple fix, and if you go a little overboard, it can kind of ruin the audio. But if you're really gentle with it and you take your time with how much you want to use it, then it's a really awesome, easy fix. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do, I already have a clip from one of my podcast episodes up here in Audacity, and I just want to play for you a little bit how it sounds right now as is. And this is just one of the microphones, so you'll hear one voice louder than the other one. So let's just hear a little bit of how this sounds. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Hi.
Hey.
So I want to talk about some subjects that I feel many musicians can relate to. So as you can hear, there's a little bit of a background noise sound in the spaces where no one's talking, like especially right here. So let's listen to just that little clip really quick. Okay, so do you hear that humming sound? So we're going to try to get rid of that. So the first thing you want to do is you want to select a bit of noise that is as much isolation as you possibly can get. So try to select some of the noise that doesn't have anyone talking and it's just silence except for the noise. So you're going to select that. So I did that already. The next thing you're going to do is go up to Effect and then click on Noise Removal. This is the reason why I highlighted that few seconds of noise. The first thing I need to do is click on this Get Noise Profile button. So I'm going to do that. Audacity takes just a second to think about it. And once it's done, I will just double click to highlight the whole entire track, which is what I want to get rid of noise in. And I'll go back to Effect and Noise Removal. And here's where you need to be a little bit careful. Right now I have it set at a setting that worked for me the last time I used it, and it happened to be for this podcast episode that I'm about to show you as an example. So I know it's going to sound okay. But what you need to be careful of is the noise reduction in decibels and how many decibels you want to take out of the noise. You just need to really be careful because the more you take out, the more damage you're going to do to the good audio that you want to keep. And try it out and see what it sounds like for yourself. You'll notice that, enunciation gets a little bit less clear. Consonants don't sound as tight. People's voices sound a little bit more rounded if it's just talking. If it's music or singing, it's really a big difference. So you have to be really careful with this. So I'm going to leave this as it is, and I'm going to hit OK. You can also preview how you want it to sound if you need to. So you can do that on your own. And Audacity will just take a few seconds or a minute, depending on how long your audio file is, and it will remove the noise from the track. Make sure you pay attention to how these waveforms look, because whenever this is done, you'll see they change slightly. So we're just waiting a second here. Doing things like this really is what makes a podcast more professional. Really just taking time to make sure that you do as much as you can to make it sound as clear as possible. No one likes to hear really fuzzy backgrounds, so that's a really simple fix, and it's something you should do to make your podcast sound more professional. So let's see how this looks. Okay, so these waveforms are really tiny. It changed a little bit, and it's good that it didn't change a lot because I know then that I didn't go overboard with the noise removal. Let's listen to how this sounds.
Thank you for having us.
Hi.
Hey.
So I want to talk about some subjects that I feel many musicians can relate to because... So to me, I mean, that sounds really great. I can hear that the noise is gone. And, the other voices, like my voice in there and the other band members in this interview, they don't matter as much as the one that's close to the mic, which is this one.
Thank you for having us.
So obviously that one sounds really good. That was kind of creepy. Let's do that again.
Thank you for having us.
So, all right. So this is exactly how you do noise removal. And once you're done doing that for each track, then you can go on to cut it up and edit it and share it as a podcast. So I'll share how to do that in future videos. I just wanted to keep this one separate because noise removal is really helpful for anybody, not just podcasters. And I know that it's going to be really helpful. And I hope that you share what you need to know. Noise removal is really helpful for not only podcasters, but anybody who's doing any sort of editing, especially if you're editing audio for a video. If you can't figure out how to do it in another program like iMovie or GarageBand or any other editing software, I highly recommend downloading Audacity, even just for the sole purpose of using this noise removal filter. It's the best one I've used. It's better than the ones I've used in Pro Tools. I really just like it a lot because it analyzes it for you and you don't have to try and find frequencies and do everything yourself. So I highly recommend Audacity just even for this purpose. So that's all I have for you today. And please share your thoughts and your comments and suggestions for new tutorials by sharing them in the comments. And I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for listening.